So dinner tonight is cottage pie. So I've got my mince and my onions browning here, and I've got my potatoes on the boil there. I will be using some thyme. I have got some more of that, but I'm using that one up. A little bit of parsley, some garlic, some pepper, 2 oxal cubes. I've got some frozen peas. I'm going to chop up some carrots. So my mince is all browned. My onions are all like translucent, so they're cooked well. I'm just going to sprinkle on some plain flour. This is just going to help me create a thick gravy, and then just kind of brown that off a little bit. So that, well, cook it off, I should say. Cook that off. Depending on what type of ground beef you use for your cottage pie is, because a cottage pie is used using beef, and a shepherd's pie is used using lamb mince. A lot of people just think it's the same thing, but it is actually the meat. It's the meat that's different, and you can Google that. It's a fact. I haven't made it up. Right, so that's cooked off, and that's what we want. Right, so now I've already broke down my oxal cubes that I showed you earlier. I'm just going to sprinkle them, or you can use a beef bouillon cube if you like, and then just kind of cook that off a little bit as well. You just want it to kind of mix it in, which it has. So I'm going to add, trying to do this one-handed, a little bit of thyme, just a sprinkle, some garlic, just a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit more, I like garlic. And unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do the black pepper on screen because I need 2 hands, because it's a grind. I grind into some parsley. I am going to use a little tiny bit of tomato puree. It's just this one here. It's upside down, but it's that one. I'm just going to put in like about a tablespoon, I would say, maybe a bit more. There we go. And then cook that off. You should always try and cook that off as well, which I've learned recently. Just cook it off a little bit. Because it helps with the flavour, otherwise it can be quite bitter. So that was something that I learnt from someone else, I can't remember who, but when you're watching loads of cook videos, you do learn little bits, little tips. Could have been Jamie Oliver, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of him lately. He is really good. And his son, Buddy. So I'm just going to leave that for a second. Like I said, I will add my pepper afterwards, because I can't do it because it's in a grinder thing. I do have ground pepper, but I don't know where it is in the cupboard right now. So I'm just stretching over to get my kettle with some hot water in there. Sorry, I was right off frame then. So I'll just mix all that in. See, I can start to smell the nice flavours already. I know you can't, but I can. Right, and I'm just going to cover it, not completely, but just so there's still mince sticking out the top. And then I'm going to mix that in, because we've got I just have to turn the heat up a little bit. We've got our oxal cubes in there, or your beef stock cubes, whatever you want to use. And if you add the hot water, it helps thicken it up. You can see it's getting thicker already. I don't like too much gravy in my cottage pie. See, that's getting a bit thick already. I might add a little bit more. It's just, I work this with the eye. I don't measure it out. I'm not a kind of measuring person unless it's cakes or special, you know, a special dish, then I will. Right, so that's thickened up nicely. Now I'm just going to add my frozen peas. So that's a bit much, so I'm not going to add too much because we have got other vegetables as well, and I know everybody in the house doesn't like too much veg in theirs. I would eat it with like 50-50 if it was left to me. 50% meat, 50% vegetables. So just add as much vegetables as you desire. And might have to add a tad more water. You could, like I say, you just eyeball that. So I've just added a little bit more. And I'm just going to bring that up to a simmer. And then I'm going to cover it for about 5-10 minutes. And then I'm going to mash my spuds. I've got my vegetables in there as well. Sorry about my tea bag. I had a cup of tea in between doing this. Yeah, I've got my broccoli and cauliflower in there. I'm going to mash my potatoes. Right, so I'm just going to cover this and then I'll be back. So with my potatoes, I've just added some butter. I've added milk. And I'm just going to, whoops, just making a racket. Just going to mash all this up. I have, because I'm doing it one-handed, I've got it sitting on a tea towel so that it doesn't slip around on my surface. So I'm going to mash this up and I'll show you all mashed up. Potato is all nice and mashed, and I'm just going to sprinkle some cheese into it as well, because I'm going to top the cottage pies with some cheese. Not a lot, because we need to watch what we're eating. We've been eating way too much recently with this pandemic. So, you know, you can't go out, you can't do anything. What do? You eat. You bake, you eat, you cook. So I just got to mix that in. And then I'm going to show you how a layer is. So easy. Oh, it's just like 2 layers basically. Show you it layered. And what I'm going to do as well, I will write like the ingredients down below in the description box, so you can click the see more and you will see what I've used. So I'll show you this layered up. So this is it, topped with obviously the mince, then the potato, topped with cheese. It's going to go in the oven for, I would say, 20-25 minutes on 190. That's, I work with a fan assisted electric oven, so whatever the conversion is to your oven, just cook it on about a 190, or I think that a gas mark is at 6 or 7, I would say, and just until the potatoes start to look golden, even a little bit crispy looking with the cheese melted on the top of it, and then you know it's perfect. I'll show you this when it's done. There we go, it's all done. That's what you're looking for. That's how you want it to look on the top. All crispy, bubbly, cheese all melted. Just dish that out, add your vegetables and enjoy. Like I said, I'll put all the ingredients down below in the description box if you want to give this a try. So bye for now.